Hey guys, so today what we're going to cover, at least for assignment 4 part 2, is drawing feature lines. So this is going to be part of your submission for assignment 4, in that you're going to use feature lines to create a couple of objects on the surface. So to get started, what we have to do is go to create design and create feature line. Alright. And it's asking us for a name. Let's call this sidewalk 1, and we're going to do a basic feature style and hit OK. So it wants us to specify start point. I'm just going to go right from this corner over here, so I'm going to choose that. It's asking me to specify an elevation, or it's giving me the elevation there at that point from the surface. So I'm probably just going to use that elevation right there. I have ortho mode turned on, by the way, so I can draw straight lines. So I'm just going to say, okay, yeah, my line is that long. And it's asking me to specify an elevation again. So if you notice down here, there's a few different ways that you can specify elevations of points along a feature line. So you can choose a grade in between these 2 points, and that'll come up with a new elevation. You could change the slope. You could find the difference, or you can use a differential to choose how you want to do it, or you can just look at the surface and say, okay, set my elevation based on the surface. So I'm going to type in SU for the surface and hit enter, and you can see my elevation changed to 494.48 instead of 492, I believe the other one was. So I hit enter, and that's great. Alright, so now I have my next point. Also notice down here that I've been entering in lengths. You can also choose to make this an arc. So let's try that out. So I'm going to hit A for arc, enter. Awesome. So now I have the option to set a second point, or I can set my radius, as you can see down here in the command line. So I want to set my radius. So I'm going to hit R, and I want my radius to be, let's say, 10 feet. Alright. And now what I can do is I can kind of just like eyeball it here at least. Set my radius there. And it's asking me to specify the elevation. I'll hit SU again for surface. It should stay the same because we're still within that same contour, but it depends on how many points you have and how you're displaying your information. So, okay. And I'm still in radius mode now, so if I hit L for line and enter, lets me do that again. And remember, that pops up down here. So now I'm going to continue this line and make this my endpoint. Well, it snapped. No problem. Cool. Alright. So now I have my feature line drawn. So if I select my feature line, a new tab comes up called Feature Line for Sidewalk 1. I can go to this elevation editor, and what this does is it shows me the elevation of my the locations that I put these stations at, and the grade in between them, so back grade and everything like that. So we started at 492, and we put these 2 points over here at a height of 494.48. You could see this changed a little bit to 0.25, because remember, it's not like these are steps. Civil 3D has more information in it as to how the elevation changes as you move up, so there's a little bit of difference in between those two. And we could see our last station is at 487.93, and these are all of our grades. So for this assignment, what I want you guys to do is create a feature line over here with grades that are less than 5% for sidewalks. So we kind of talked about that in class a little while ago, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. So there's a couple of ways you could actually do this. You can actually go in and change what your grades are, or you can change the elevation of what your station is. So let's say I want to make this 492 and hit enter. Look at that. Now my elevation's changed. So now this survey point is not finding its elevation based off of the surface elevation. Now it's an elevation that I'm giving it. So technically it's just a line floating in space above the elevation of the surface because it's a little bit higher. It was 490 or 480 something, 489, and now it's 492. So that is something that we can do. So let's now do something called creating a feature line from an object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle. Alright, and just have a rectangle like that. Now, let's say I want to make this object a feature line. So I can do create feature line and create feature lines from objects. I'm going to select that object and hit enter. Now it's asking all of this information of like, all right, how are we going to name it? So I'm going to name it, let's call it mat. Like it's a mat of some sort. Okay. And now let's assign elevations down here in this tab and hit OK. So when we hit assign elevations, it's asking what elevation do we want this to be at. So you can either choose an elevation that you want all of this information to be at, it's one consistent elevation, or you can change your elevation from your surface, and it allows you to choose between multiple surfaces if that's what you have, but all we have here is ground surface. So we're going to hit OK here. And as you can see, now we have a new feature line. So if I select that and go to the elevation editor, you can see that all along this this rectangle, elevations and grades are found. And it's a lot of information. For this assignment though, what I'm going to have you guys do is draw this mat and create the feature lines from it. Hit enter. Let's call this mat again. I'm going to do assign elevations and elevation of, let's just say I'm going to put down 495. Okay. Just want to make sure that's in there. Alright, cool. Okay. So now when I click on it and I look at the elevation, everything is the same. So there is no grade. Everything is perfectly flat. And all points of this featured object are at an elevation of 495. So now we know that that is flat and it's at a certain height. So what I want you guys to do for this assignment is you're going to create a couple of feature lines, read assignment 3 posted in Colab, and follow the instructions as posted there. And I'll see you guys in class.